Everything was calm at first, the kind of calm that only exists inside a church before anything unexpected happens, where people sit quietly, some praying silently, some listening, some simply breathing, in the peace of the moment, believing that within these walls, nothing bad can happen, because this place represents faith, safety, and meaning. The service had already begun, the message centered on forgiveness and unity, when the doors suddenly opened and a group of Muslim men entered, not violently at first, but firmly, confidently, with expressions that immediately changed the atmosphere. Heads turned, the singing stopped, the room felt smaller. The tension was instant. Some people froze, others whispered, a few stood halfway from their seats, unsure whether to sit back down or move. The men spoke loudly, questioning the teachings being shared, challenging the idea of salvation through Christ, rejecting the cross, and insisting that what was being preached was false according to their belief. The words hit hard, not because people had never heard disagreement before, but because this disagreement was happening in a sacred space, during a sacred moment, without warning. Christians in the room felt violated, not just personally, but spiritually. This was not a debate hall or a public square. This was a place of worship. Some members wanted the men removed immediately. Others felt fear. Some felt anger rising. A few felt confusion, torn between defending their faith and maintaining peace. The pastor attempted to speak, asking for calm, reminding everyone that shouting would only deepen the divide, but emotions were already boiling. One man from the congregation stood up and challenged the group directly, defending Christian belief, declaring that faith in Jesus was not open for disruption. Voices overlapped, the room filled with noise, disbelief, frustration, and shock. At that moment, everything could have collapsed into chaos. Security was called, phones were raised, children began to cry. And then something unexpected happened that no one had prepared for, something that completely changed the direction of the moment and stunned everyone present. As the confrontation reached its peak, one of the Muslim men suddenly stepped forward and did something no one expected. He lowered his voice, admitted that he had entered the church with anger, not curiosity, and confessed that his intention was to confront Christianity because of pain, not hatred, because of loss, not dominance. He spoke about growing up believing Christians were enemies, about witnessing violence blamed on religion, about feeling the need to defend Islam aggressively because that was all he knew. The room went silent. Christians who were ready to shout found themselves listening instead. The pastor responded calmly, not agreeing with the beliefs, but acknowledging the pain behind the words. He made it clear that the church would never abandon its faith, but also that violence, shouting, and humiliation were not the answer. What followed was not conversion, not agreement, but something rarer: mutual recognition of humanity. The Muslim group did not accept Christian doctrine. The Christians did not accept Islamic rejection of Christ. The beliefs remained in conflict, but the way the conflict unfolded changed everything. Instead of fists, there were words. Instead of chaos, there was restraint. Instead of fear, there was reflection. The men eventually left, not victorious, not defeated, but visibly changed. The service resumed, but no one was the same afterward. People talked about it for weeks. Some praised the restraint. Others criticized allowing the interruption. Many questioned how faith should be defended, with anger or with strength of character. The incident spread online, sparking debate across both Muslim and Christian communities, forcing people to confront uncomfortable questions about respect, boundaries, and belief in a divided world. This moment did not erase religious differences, it exposed them. It showed how quickly peace can be broken and how powerful restraint can be when emotions are at their highest. And now the question is yours. If someone challenged your beliefs in the place you hold most sacred, how would you respond? Would you react with rage or with control? Would you escalate or stand firm without losing yourself? If this story made you think, share it, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more real-life moments that test faith, character, and humanity. Because these are not just stories, they are mirrors reflecting who we are when everything is on the line. After the men left the church, the silence that remained felt heavier than the shouting that came before it. People sat frozen, staring at the doors as if expecting them to open again. Some members were shaking, not from fear alone, but from the sudden realization that faith is not just something you believe quietly. It is something that can be challenged in the most uncomfortable ways. Parents held their children closer. Elderly members whispered prayers under their breath. The pastor stood still for several seconds, allowing the moment to settle, because rushing forward would have felt dishonest. When he finally spoke again, his voice was slower, deeper, filled with gravity, reminding the congregation that faith has always existed under pressure, that belief has never been safe, and that moments like this reveal not only what we believe, but how deeply we believe it. Outside the church, the Muslim groups stood together, some angry, some silent, some visibly conflicted. One of them admitted quietly that he did not expect to be heard, that he came ready for resistance, not reflection. Another said he felt exposed, as if his anger had been stripped away in front of strangers. They debated among themselves whether what they did was right or wrong, whether confronting Christianity inside a church crossed a line, or whether silence would have been worse. Meanwhile, word spread fast. Videos uploaded within minutes began circulating online, clipped without context, sparking outrage, praise, and misunderstanding. Some accused the church of weakness for not calling police immediately. Others accused the Muslim group of disrespect. Some outsiders twisted the story into something it was never meant to be, turning a tense human moment into a weapon for division. By nightfall, the incident had become a symbol, not of unity, but of how fragile peace can be when belief systems collide without preparation or respect. In the days that followed, the church received messages from around the world. Some Christians thanked them for standing firm without violence. Others said the interruption should never have been tolerated. Muslim voices also emerged, some condemning the disruption as dishonoring Islam, others defending it as an act of courage against beliefs they saw as wrong. What shocked many people most was not the interruption itself, but how quickly faith became a battlefield online, where strangers shouted louder than those who were actually there. The pastor was invited to speak on local radio. Community leaders requested meetings. Interfaith groups asked for dialogue. The Muslim man who spoke inside the church later agreed to a private conversation with church leaders, not to convert, not to debate doctrine, but to explain why anger had driven him to that moment. He spoke about growing up hearing that Christianity was corrupt, that churches were symbols of oppression, and that silence felt like betrayal of his faith. The Christians listened without agreeing, without surrendering belief, but with clarity that conflict often begins long before confrontation. At the same time, church members confronted their own fears, realizing how easily faith can harden into defensiveness, how quickly love can turn into hostility when sacred boundaries are crossed. The incident became a lesson that no sermon could fully teach, that belief without discipline leads to chaos, and belief without compassion leads to destruction. It did not resolve religious differences, it made them visible. It forced people to ask whether faith is proven by dominance or by endurance. And even now, long after the doors closed and the crowd dispersed, the echo of that moment remains, reminding everyone that peace is not the absence of conflict, but the courage to face it without losing your humanity. If this story made you pause, question, or reflect, share it with others. Leave your thoughts below and subscribe for more real-life moments that test belief, identity, and the choices we make when everything suddenly changes.